Hey everyone, we are Dream Theater and we're here today to answer questions about our new album Parasomnia, sent in to us from our DT fan club.
Sucked.
Well, it should be noted, because it's pretty incredible, that we moved into the studio February 7th, 2024, and the album was released February 7th, 2025.
Yeah.
So literally a year to the
That's
day
crazy.
from coming into the studio till birth.
Amazing.
I did not know
That's
that.
amazing. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane. Coincidence. And the first show of the North American tour.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's Jordan's birthday.
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
It's Rick's birthday.
Yes, that's right.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Our tour manager's
manager's
birthday.
A lot to celebrate.
All
Yes.
convening.
Okay.
Okay.
We like to get everything over with it all at once, you know?
I know, good.
Yeah,
Knock
all
it
on
out.
one day.
Sure. The theme of the album is based on the title of the album, Parasomnia being a term that encompasses all sorts of sleep disturbances and disorders. So every song on the album is about some kind of parasomnia event, whether it be sleep deprivation or night terrors or sleep paralysis or things of that nature. So it actually set us up to write a really creepy and dark and heavy album, which was a lot of fun.
Night Terror was the first thing we started jamming on, very start of the session, and it immediately felt natural and comfortable and sounded like Dream Theater. And how long did it take? I mean, we write pretty quickly.
We do.
We start with just the music, so the process of writing and arranging the music could take a couple of days to a week or so for that process. And then once we had a few songs done musically, I would start tracking the drums, and then then later on in the process, we got together to work on the vocal melodies together.
Mhm.
And then each of the lyricists went off and writes the lyrics. It's
So what would you think? Like, I mean, from beginning to end, that's got to be
It's
Like
several
3
months.
months,
Yeah,
right?
it's several
Yeah.
months from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like by the time we start, put it this way, we started February, like you said, and we were tracking vocals July.
Yeah.
So all the lyrics had to be done by that point.
Yeah.
So that's the final stage.
There's a lot of factors, but I guess maybe one of the interesting things is when we write our songs, if it's not a total epic, it usually takes like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Where does any title come from? You start writing lyrics, and you look at what you have on the paper. And for me, writing the lyrics to Midnight Messiah was, it was a challenge because I haven't written lyrics in a very long time, and I actually wasn't planning on writing lyrics upon rejoining the band. But as Al Pacino once said, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. So I think
Yeah.
you guys twisted my arm
Yeah.
and persuaded me.
Yeah, you got to write a lyric.
But you know what was interesting, Mike, was, and John and I said this, I went into the control room, and I don't know where you were, maybe you were making a coffee or something like that. And I said, as soon as I read these lyrics, I knew they were yours. Because it had your style, your references, like everyone has a certain
Exactly.
style to their lyrics, you know, and the way that they want to create the metaphors and everything like that. And it was just straight up,
Yeah.
100% yours.
The other thing
you could identify with
The
it.
other thing worth mentioning, there was that extra little challenge because musically we knew we'd have that little space and it had to be really powerful.
To set up the chorus.
Yeah, and so it was like not only just writing words, but what are you going to say? And it's very key.
Well, we actually, I don't know if you remember, we had to extend
We
that
did,
hole
yeah.
to fit the lyrics Midnight Messiah, because originally we were using a ball breaker,
Ballbuster. Ballbuster.
as a working
Right.
lyric there. So yeah, once
That's
I
great.
wrote Midnight Messiah, we needed to extend that hole there, which, we added it changed the music. It added a whole nother bar to the setup to the chorus.
It ended up working perfectly.
I'll say one more thing about the lyric. most of my lyrics for Dream Theater in the past are all from personal experiences. The Best of Times, Honor Thy Father, the 12-Step Suite, Change of Seasons. So I'm not used to writing fictitious lyrics, but this was a story I created to kind of fit with the Parasomnia theme, and it's kind of a fictitious story about a character that in his dreams is a bit of a superhero and can do no wrong, is invincible and immortal, but in real life is completely uncomfortable. So I wanted to write a story about a guy that like is loves living in his dreams and wants to kind of be there permanently. So that's kind of the premise behind the story. I mean,
If we do, got some learning to do.
Sorry, we gotta go practice now.
once we came up with the idea of making Parasomnia a bit more of a thematic concept album, it was obvious that it was being written in a way that it's intended to be listened to from top to bottom, from start to finish. But I think also the intention is to eventually play it in its entirety from top to bottom. It's just that kind of album. It's not just an album with a collection of songs. It's really an experience from start to finish. So yeah, that is the ultimate plan. We're still really wrapped up in the 40th anniversary celebration, so the focus right now is still on that. But the plan is by the end of 25 to be playing the album in its entirety.
And we want every audience member to show up in their pajamas. Because they're gonna experience
Sleep like they're sleepwalking to
exactly.
the venue.
You know somebody's going to do that,
No,
though, John.
it has to
Now
happen.
that
Holy
you said
shit.
that,
We're gonna present
Oh
a
my
live
God.
Parasomnia event, and everyone's gonna be tripping out.
We
in
should
their
put that in
pajamas.
merch. We should have pajamas.
If we do that idea,
Yeah.
do the whole album, we should give people at least a year to
Yeah.
be familiar with the
Well,
record.
it will be.
Yeah,
because
it will
at this
be.
point, we're
Exactly.
booked with the 40th anniversary stuff till the end of the summer. So the plan is by this fall to be out doing it in its entirety, which will give listeners a good solid 6 to 8 months of getting familiar
Pajama
with the album.
shopping.
Yeah,
pajama
exactly.
shopping.
We definitely need to have DT pajamas.
Right.
Definitely.
And then we need to
What
take a
would even
picture
be
in
more
pajamas.
mind-blowing would be if we went out in pajamas
Yeah,
and
really
performed.
scary
Huh?
one. We can have,
There you go. Yeah,
we
honk.
can have them designed.
Yes, yes.
Night Terror,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's the first song that opens the record.
And it was also picked as our first single because, we try to find something that represents kind of the state that we're in at the time. And Night Terror is a great choice because it has all the Dream Theater elements in it.
Yeah. I was going to say Dead Asleep.
Mm.
That's my favorite track on the album right now. But the reason I picked that is I think the lyrics are very cinematic, with what's going on in there. Without getting into the details, John, you can explain it at some point. But also, like musically, I think it just touches on so many elements that are Dream Theater, and the way that song was created and the way that it ended up, its completion, it just really shows where we are at this point musically, and that we're constantly evolving. Like this album is a true testament of that as a whole, but that song in particular hits me very theatrically.
Mm.
I tend to gravitate towards the longer songs because those are the ones that have so many elements of what Dream Theater's about. So, with this album, the Shadow Man incident is like the 20-minute epic on the album. So it's just got everything in the kitchen sink. It's just got a little bit of everything that Dream Theater's about. So to me, that's always the long ones, the long epics are the best examples for somebody that doesn't know what the band is about.
That's like we have to Clockwork Orange with their eyes.
Yeah, right.
Strapped
You
around.
gotta sit here for 20.
You gotta sit through this to really find out what's going
It's funny,
on.
'cause I've had, I've met people that never heard of the band. I always ask them what kind of music they listen to, because it could be, I agree with Mike, I love showing them this is what we're all about, this massive song, but if they don't know the style of music, you might want to ease them in so they don't get scared, maybe something like Midnight Messiah or even Bend the Clock may be a good way for somebody that's not used to listening to like prog metal or some crazy instrumental stuff to ease into the band. Those songs are both a little bit more, I don't know, relatable in a catchy and melodic way, as we sometimes do.
Well, I think that every album we do, we're a band that's always learning, we're growing, we are exposed to different kinds of music, different, in my case, different kinds of technology. There's no shortage of inspiration for music or ideas or themes, and so I think that, we don't know what's coming up next. We're kind of open, and I'm sure there won't be any problem coming up with a bunch of cool ideas and a bunch of cool riffs and melodies and themes, and because that's what we do. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I just saw Nosferatu, Robert Eggers' new film, and the film opens with a scene that is literally bringing the cover of Parasomnia to life. It's Incredibles. So Robert Eggers would probably be a good choice for the lyrical topics that are going on with this album and the themes. Yeah, he's probably one of the best dark directors these days. So yeah, Robert Eggers would be a good choice.